It's that time again. It's time for another Saturday night special where we talk about everything rockhounding related. So I was thinking this evening we could have a little bit of a continuation of last week where we talked a little bit about the value of rocks, the cost of things. And I would like to offer a little bit of a counter perspective, a story, and an example for you, so that we can maybe see it from both sides. I noticed in the comments before, a lot of people are just kind of agreeing with what I had to say on the subject, and which is nice, I guess. But counter argument here. First off, the world of rocks and minerals is a big world. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars as far as an industry goes, right? You look at something like the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show and the amount of money trading hands there. There's clearly money in rocks. Like, there's buyers out there. There's people that have supplies, and, you know, they come together and do business. It's just, like it or not, that's the reality of the world. And I see value in that being a thing. I mean, not everybody can go rockhounding. Some people want exotic stuff and collectors and stuff. And, you know, I'm not going to be going to Mexico, China, South America anytime soon, Australia for rocks. So if you wanted that stuff, well, you're gonna be paying for it, right? And that's just the way that is. Now, I do think, you know, being a person who has owned multiple businesses and who has been successful in the business world, I know that it's not cut out for everybody. So just because you see dollar signs, like you see a rock and you're like, that's worth something, that doesn't mean anything, right? There's a lot of things that have to come about to make it so that you could be profitable as involved in the rock and mineral world. And I would like to tell you a little story about somebody who was very successful in the world of rocks and minerals, very prolific, very famous, and yeah, that person. I think that would be a good example of how it could potentially be done, and some of the all of the stars that kind of have to align for you to be good at it. I'd like to talk about Bob Jackson this evening. Some of you know who Bob Jackson is, but for those of you who do not know, Bob Jackson is a guy, lives right here in Washington State, and he wrote The Rockhound's Guide to Washington, old series of books from the 80s, 90s, 80s, whatever, in there. He owned the Spruce Ridge patented claim. Okay, so 1978, a young Bob Jackson. Now I'm gonna, if I make a mistake here, you know, this is a third-hand story. A young Bob Jackson is exploring the hills or whatever near Snoqualmie Pass out there, western Washington, the wet side, the mountainous side of Washington. Somebody told him about quartz crystal up there on this one little patch of land, right? This brecciated zone going up a cliff. Sure enough, he went out there and he found some of the most beautiful quartz crystals and pyrite specimens that you could possibly find. And he claimed it and started working. Now, this is basically at that time like a sheer cliff. There's no benches carved into the mountain. But to give you an idea of what it took for him to make that happen, like he helicoptered a compressor to the top of the mountain, or maybe it was an accumulator, compressor accumulator for running a jackhammer, generators, all of this stuff. So he's up there, they're jackhammering into the mountain, putting charges, explosives into those holes, filling vugs with water, and then setting off those to kind of break loose these specimens, which are world-class specimens. and did that for decades. Fast forward to, I believe it was 2007. 2007, Bob's getting a little up there in age and sells his patented claim to an LLC of like 25 collectors. And they can go out there to this day and find beautiful quartz and pyrite and barite, amethyst, all of this stuff that you're seeing. And he's very successful at it. Now, what are the things that have kind of came about, right, to set him up in that? He was a geology student, okay? What else? Yeah, he was a geology student in the right place at the right time with the knowledge, okay, with the will to go up into these mountains and go set up something like this. He was also connected to people that he could deal with and sell to, you know. He was able to find people to help him. Just all these things, just like this, everything aligned. Add to that the fact that it's a specimen and not lapidary, which means what? Extract it from the earth and then clean it up and you're good. You're good. You know, put it on the market, right? So everything worked out great for Bob in that instance. How does that, though? I mean, that's not likely to happen to me, not likely to happen to you. It's just not. Like, that doesn't happen often. However, you can buy lapidary stuff, rocks, and it's kind of like an added value thing. So as an example, right here, I have a Richardson's Ranch Thunderegg. Now, these Thundereggs go for $2 a pound-ish, $3 a pound. It depends. I think they're $2 a pound. So right here is about $2. Okay? There's a lot of things that come into play. Now, if I cut that rock, okay, if I cut this, and it's nice on the inside, and you polish it, well, now you invested electricity and diamonds and time and water and all that, and now these two polished halves, if they are good, are worth a lot more. So that's one thing that people will do, but even still, you got to have the right market. You got to have the right everything to then have an outlet for that cut and polished Thunderegg, you know. Speaking of Thundereggs, these Thundereggs right here, okay, these three might be the cleanest Thundereggs that you will ever see. Maybe even the cleanest rocks. If there was ever a rock to lick, it would probably be one of these three. So now maybe you guys are aware, Kyle with World of Rockhounds and Jesse down there in Australia, they're experimenting with removing the rhyolite exterior from these types of rocks. A little camera glitch there. They're working at removing the exterior because sometimes you'll see these cores. I've been thermal cycling these, so cooking them at 350 and then cold water and back and forth and back and forth. And we do have a partial removal here. So I've been doing these 3 eggs. We got a Richardson's Ranch blue bed, a Lucky Strike egg, and a Pony Butte. And you can see that the Pony Butte, we did have some of the rhyolite break off. Well, I kind of wanted to investigate some. Why? You know, like, what does that transition zone between the rhyolite and the agate actually look like? You know, here's that Lucky Strike. This is what that kind of looks like on the inside. There's that Lucky Strike. I'm not going to get this wet. It's not a good one, but that's what that Pony Butte, there you go, that Pony Butte kind of looks like. A lot of opal. Here's half of a blue bed Thunderegg, cut and polished by Kyle himself. So what I want to focus on is that spot right there, okay? Now, I took that over to the microscope, and you can certainly see there's kind of like a transition between the rhyolite and the agate. Now, I'm not convinced, after doing all the testing, that under natural conditions that you would be able to easily remove the rhyolite exterior while maintaining your agatized core of a Thunderegg. You gotta think, these are forming in rhyolite lava flows with gas bubbles. Then the silicates move in, solidify over time, get lifted out, whatever. And then you have to have natural things happening. Natural freezing temperatures, no more greater than the temperature of a wildfire or geothermal activity. I'm not convinced that you can easily just snap these things out doing it at home. I think there's something about very specific Thundereggs that means they have a very fragile, not fully interlocked transition zone between the agate and the rhyolite, and it just won't separate with ease. Some will, some won't. Most won't. And I think that's my theory. I would love to be wrong. It'd be fun to be able to separate these things off, you know? That'd be cool. This past week, I got a Christmas present that I would like to share with you guys. Well, Dustin from Dustin Finds Rocks, and certainly Dustin, he does find rocks. He sent me a card, and before he sent some rocks too, but I just want to say something real quick about cards. I like them, okay? You know, we're kind of societally, right? We're not really in this place of like handwriting cards and like sending a card. It's like, oh, send a text and you're good. I don't like the latter there. I like the cards are nice, handwritten things are nice. It means that you put effort into something. You didn't just like scoop something into a box and be like, here you go. Like it's kind. It's kind. Very nice. End of tangent. So, Dustin sent some stuff. Now, Dustin, I believe he lives in Missouri. I think he lives in Missouri. Now, he sent some fossils, which are very cool. Look at these little guys. I forget how you say this. Crinoid? Crinoid fossil? Very nice little guys. I'm not much of a fossil guy, to be honest, but I want to put those under the microscope. I think that'd be kind of cool, you know? Now, this is something that I'm not familiar with, really. He sent some bladed barite, which is pretty cool. I've never seen any barite that looks like this. So, always neat to be able to see things that you otherwise would not be able to see, like, at all. Like, you know, we just don't have fossilized coral out here. Look at that. That's so cool. That's very cool. Well, he didn't just send fossils. He sent some other stuff, which is cool. Very, very neat. Look at this cubed barite. That's pretty cool. This looks a little bit more like the barite that we have out here, even though I don't have any pieces of that size. I mean, it's a little less common. And one of his bigger things that he sent, right, didn't quite make it through the mail, but I'm going to kind of piece it together here. It's almost cooler that it broke. So this is some lace agate with quartz from Haunted Ridge. You can kind of see the back there, right? You can see some of that lace agate in the sides. Well, this didn't make it through. Oh, there we go. This didn't make it through the post office, but it's kind of cool. Okay, so look at this piece right here. Look at that. Very cool. It's almost like a puzzle. Like the pieces didn't shatter at all. It's just like three nice breaks. Look at that agate. Beautiful quartz crystals. And then there's the other half, which also has some of that lacy agate in there. Yeah, and this kind of goes together just like that. He sent these little cards with him, so I gotta keep it together so I don't forget. two more of the rocks that I would like to show you that he sent that are very, very impressive. Look at that. That's so cool. Some stromalite druzy quartz. Very neat. Very neat to see something, these big plates like that, you know? It's just, there's such a value, right, in the community of rockhounds out there, you know? You get to see stuff, hold things that you would otherwise never, ever, ever see. Look at that. That's crazy to me. So, you have some botryoidal druzy quartz, lemonite, from Haunted Ridge. Now, he's got a bunch of videos. I'm going to drop a link down to Dustin Finds Rocks. Haunted Ridge is crazy. Look at this. That's a crazy thing. Neat thing about this specimen right here is he actually has the before photo, right? So check this out. So that's what it looked like before bath and iron out. And here's what it looks like now after the iron out. Like, what a difference. It's incredible to see, you know? See, specimens like these, right, are very cool, especially in the winter time. You know, this past week, the video that I uploaded showing the high-speed sander and the carpet wheel and putting a polish on this thing. Ooh, pretty. It's so nice to have that equipment, especially in the winter time, you know. This morning, woke up 11 degrees. 11 degrees right now as I film this. Well, it's a nice 23 degrees out here in the shop. And the way I look at it, chilly starts at 29 degrees and cold starts at 9. So it's not cold yet. I just got to keep it above 9 this year out here and I'm good. We'll be good. But yeah, you know, it's hard. Like there's no perfect system, you know, like the high-speed sander, the carpet wheel, the flat laps, the trim saws, the oil saws, the cabbing machines, all these things, you know, it depends on so many things if that's the right machine for you and what you want to do. Looking at this, it's like, that's so pretty. Like, if you have that quality of specimens around you, who needs lapidary, am I right? Or if you're somebody like Bob Jackson and you can make a living blowing up a hillside and pulling the pyrite cubes from it. So, well, I think we're going to leave this one here, everybody. If you like the type of work that I'm doing here on the channel, you know, definitely hit the subscribe, throw a thumbs up. And if you want access to like a lot more videos, I do have channel membership here, you know. You can hit the join button if you're interested. And there's a lot of neat stuff there. You can always go to the main channel page and look at the playlist of members' videos and see if it's something that you'd be interested into before signing up. All right, everybody. Y'all take care, and I will catch you on the next video.